G'day guys and welcome to Primal Waters, and today we're going to have a look at a video from Discovery that was released several years ago. It's called Lair of the Mega Shark, and this is when the Discovery team go to New Zealand and look at a legendary shark uh, called the Mango Taniwha. I think I'm saying that right. Taniwha stands for Guardian or Legendary Monster, and for the Indigenous people of New Zealand, this was an animal or creature that stalked rivers, the ocean, and consumed humans and that. So this is quite an interesting story. I'm not going to put the full video up. I'm just going to show a clip of it. I'm going to talk about it. If you want to watch this yourself, I'll put the link for this in the description bar down below, so you can go check it out for yourself. You also got to take into account when you watch Discovery Channel during Shark Week, they talk about these legendary monster sharks. They set out to find these sharks, but in the end, they don't really do that. But it's still quite interesting. Not only when I talk about stories around Australia, but stories that cover the globe from Indigenous people who talk about these sharks, these legendary mega sharks that were in the waters, and that could be from Australia to the United States to even New Zealand, about these 30-foot great white sharks, which I believe at some stage these sharks were around, but obviously in the early years when most of the big sharks were hunted by fishermen. My theory is that eventually down the track we'll start seeing these big sharks again, um, just not for probably 10 to 20 years, because most of the big sharks back before they were a protected species, especially in Australia, probably were all fished out. So let's just watch this little clip here. Like I said, I'll link this down below. You can go check it out for yourself. It's quite interesting, and like I said, just gives that clue or hint at that at some stage in Earth's history, these mega great white sharks once stalked the waters around Australia and New Zealand. So we'll have a quick listen.
Go back centuries. Indigenous Maori tribes have long told tales of an awe-inspiring creature called the Mango Taniwha.
So Mango Taniwha is the name of what Maori call the great white shark. Taniwha stands for guardian or legendary monster. Mango is for great white. I think how that goes. Now the island, I'm pretty sure that the Discovery Channel go to is Stewart Island, which is located south of New Zealand, off the second island, where I've heard stories of massive white sharks around those areas as well. Used to be a abattoirs or something that used to be situated there, and obviously they got rid of the leftovers in the water, which attracted the big sharks.
This shark was a supernatural being, said to be as big as a whale. Written accounts suggest the beast topped out at over 30 feet. But what if an animal of this legendary size has returned?
They say the only time a fisherman's telling the truth is when he tells you another fisherman's a liar.
So we'll have a listen to this chap's story. You can take it with a grain of salt. But the talk about this shark being, I think they said 36 feet. I've mentioned this on this channel many times. You can read heaps of stories, especially in Australia, in Western Australia, about whalers who would recall seeing sharks that big. When they've caught the whales, they've tied them up to the ship, and apparently these big 30-foot great whites would come up and feed off the whales, and this was in the early 70s. So we'll have a listen to this guy's story. You take it, like I said, take it with a grain of salt.
but I stand on my integrity, always.
Commercial fisherman Kevin Bork claims to have seen one.
We were travelling south, and my first command, 47-foot wooden commercial fishing trawler, and we...
Sorry, I'm just cutting in and out because so I don't get a copyright or something like that. But you know, I tend to believe some of these stories out there from these fishermen, but I do believe at some stage that these massive great white sharks were out there. I'm not saying megalodon. I'm talking about massive female great whites, probably up to 6 to 7, maybe even 8 meters in length, which is nearly hitting the 30 feet.
We were lobster fishing with it. There was a shark coming out from the shore on a collision course with us. And I'm looking over saying, yes, this was easily 36 feet.
36.
Like looking at another boat going past. Huge. Whoa. You never forget something like that once you've seen it.
Now, 36 feet, I don't know. But I'm confident that these big females were out there, these large ones. I think their numbers are probably not as big these days, but I think they're still out there. Occasionally, a fisherman will see these sharks. Now, the story, what he's talking about, seeing this shark come towards the boat, just reminds me of a time with my dad's mates when I was younger. The story they told me when they were just fishing out from where I live, and about this massive white shark that cruised past their boat one night. Their boat was an 18-footer, and it was big as the boat, so they're out there. Now, this continues on with the Discovery Channel, then diving, looking for these big sharks.
This area, quite regularly you'll hear someone tells you about a shark, a big, huge shark, but I guess there's bigger ones out there than what we're seeing.
My thought is that these real big sharks don't hang around the coastline. I think they're out in the deep parts of the ocean. Probably gradually come into close to shore, but most of the time they're out there in the deep.
What are we talking about? 21, 22 feet bigger? What do you think?
Well, that's like where I was saying, these big females up around the 20 feet, you know, and some of those could be bigger than that.
We're looking for that upper echelon shark, the rare shark, the 1 in a million shark that only a very few people have ever encountered.
The 1 in a million shark. Now, a few years ago, you can find videos on the channel about the 7-meter great white shark that was spotted off of the coastline here in South Australia, in Adelaide. The helicopter crew who do the shark patrols along the coast in South Australia, you know, they see sharks all the time. They follow do their patrols all the time, so their judging on size of sharks is, I would say, a lot better than most people. And they swear that the size of this shark was massive, around about 7 meters in length. The pictures themselves didn't justify how big this shark was, so...
Jeff and Andy have brought on local shark researcher Kenneth Scole to oversee operations.
So it just goes on. You got
Andy is convinced
Andy,
the shark he saw is still around.
So that's it for this video, guys. Please drop in a comment. Let's start a discussion about these big sharks out there. Like I said, I think these sharks are out there. I think their numbers are probably quite small. Most of them would probably be large females, really old girls. And yeah, hopefully one day we get to see larger numbers of these sharks, since they are protected species now. So as long as people leave them alone and they're able to live their I think their lifespan's around about 70 years old. For 70 years, we might start seeing these bigger sharks down the track and that, which would be quite good because, you know, that's what I'm fascinated about. I love the great white shark. It's an amazing species. I love to see how big these guys grow, and I'm hoping down the track we might start seeing a lot more footage and talk about these sightings of these big girls out there. So, alright guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for tuning in. Please drop a comment down below, hit that like button, share this video. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. Thank you, and I'll catch you in the next video.